After the snap, I am your host, The Wager Zone. This is your co-host, Hezzy Hybrid. Say what's up to the people, Hez, before we get into this show.
What's going on, boys and girls, and guys and gals? Hope everybody's staying dry out there. It's been crazy. I know back in California, same as out here in
Mhm.
Arizona. It's been rain. Hope everybody's been staying safe and dry as well. Cause man, I don't know how people have a license these days, but hey, as long as everybody's getting to where they get to go.
Yeah, it's been raining wild this past couple days. It's just been off and on. Like right now, we got a couple of days break from the rain in California. It's probably gonna start raining up again, but it's getting to that season where it's time to dress warm because even California is starting to get cold. Like it's about like right now they said it's like 39 to 42 degrees outside in California. And I'm like, dang, if it's cold that over here, then it's probably colder a lot of other places. And before we get into this episode, I just want to say one thing. The Anaheim Ducks just won the game 4-3 in overtime. You see Hez is wearing his Ducks gear. The Ducks just won the game. They beat the Golden Knights in overtime right now. Right in the first 30 seconds, they scored a goal. Game's over. Anaheim Ducks to win. But all right, guys. Let's get right into this episode. First, we have a lot of topics to get into. We didn't come on here Wednesday. Personally, I scheduled it with Hez. I was like, we're gonna get on here Wednesday, and then I was like, we'll get on Wednesday night. Wednesday afternoon came around. I had the worst headache. I was not feeling well. I just went and laid down. I ended up falling asleep. I missed something. I was supposed to do something that night too. I ended up just sleeping through that. Was sick for a couple days, but now I'm feeling a lot better. So let's get right into this episode. We're here for Saturday, so we got to go through a whole bunch over last week. We got to get into Thursday night football and talk to you about how we think about the Bills and the Texans. So first topic of the day is going to be the Chiefs. They lost to the Broncos this past Sunday. The Broncos went out there where me and Hez actually said that we both had the Broncos pulling out the upset. We both thought the Broncos would win that game. The Broncos went out there and beat the Chiefs at home, and the Chiefs are on a 5-5 record right now. The Chiefs are looking like they might miss the playoffs. I thought they had a chance to miss the playoffs this year, but the question is, I'll leave this one off. Has is going to be: are the Chiefs that bad, or the Broncos actually really that good? Personally, I'm gonna say that the Broncos are really actually that good. I've been putting the Broncos in my top three team in the league for the past 3 weeks. I've had them at three. I haven't moved them up. I haven't moved them down. I've had them like at 3, 4 spot all like for the past 3 or 4 weeks. That defense is legit, man. That defense is dope. They're the best defense in the league. It's arguable which defense is better. It's either them or it's the Texans. But that Broncos defense, they didn't even have Patrick Surtain out there, and they still went out there and beat the Chiefs and held them to low scoring. The Broncos, they get to the quarterback. Their schemes on the defensive end are just really good, especially in that secondary. They do everything right. They don't not give any holes. So that defense is legit. And you guys have seen many times that defenses have led teams to the Super Bowl before, where the quarterback's playing okay, but that defense is just holding it down. And one thing about Bo Nix, I like about Bo a lot, is Bo can have a bad 3 quarters. And then that fourth quarter comes around, it's money time. Bo starts making throws. They start doing very well. And then that's why I think the Broncos are really that good. Yeah, the Chiefs are having an off year this year, but it takes even I know the Chiefs are 5-5, and you look at the record, people are gonna be like, well, the Chiefs just are not good this year. I think the Chiefs, if it wasn't for that defense, the Chiefs would have won that game. So I give all props to the Broncos. I think the Broncos are literally that good. I think they're a top five team in the NFL right now. And we'll get into our top five teams later on. But like I said, I've had them at the third spot for a while now. So I'm taking that the Broncos are actually really that good. What you think, Hez?
Yeah, I just felt like the Broncos just had a better edge against them overall, and especially the defense just showing up and limiting KC's offense. The Chiefs had a chance to stop them, but it just was another late drive put together by Sean Payton and Bo Nix. That ultimately just led them to a game winning field goal. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I really just felt like they just were the better team clearly, and regardless if they were just playing at home or not, like they really showed up and showed out against KC. The game could have went either way, but when it really mattered and the game was on the line, they just really trusted each other, played a really good, fundamentally sound game all across the board, and there was really no worries. Everybody pretty much did their part, and when it came down to the last drive, Bo Nix just did what he's been doing all season. Always kind of was questionable towards for the first 3 quarters, but somehow fourth quarter he just does everything he can to lead him into victory.
My bad. My phone started acting up weird. But yeah, I agree. Like, Sean Payton always puts on a great game plan for his team. Like, especially with that coaching, there's no bad as Broncos can do. Like, the defense holds it down. You already know Sean Payton's an offensive coach, so he's gonna have his offense ready. And I know sometimes they struggle for 3 quarters. That's the biggest thing people have been talking about the Broncos. Like, can they score enough points? Is Bo Nix trustable? If you can't trust Bo Nix, the one person you can't trust is Sean Payton. Sean Payton has won a Super Bowl before. He's had many winning seasons. He knows how to win. And the one thing about Sean Payton is he knows how to play with a quarterback, just like Bo Nix. He did it with Drew Brees. I'm not saying Bo Nix is as good as Drew Brees, but they have the same exact play style. They're kind of like almost the same exact size. They both, a young Drew Brees moved around just kind of how like Bo Nix did. Bo Nix doesn't have the accuracy and the arm that Drew Brees did have, but he has the same exact playing style. So Sean Payton can work with it all the time. So that's, if you can't trust Bo Nix and you can't say I can't trust his offense, you better just trust Sean Payton to get it done. And you better trust this defense because that defense is going to hold it down. That honestly, with how good the defense is playing, the Broncos, all they got to do is score about 21, 23 points and they win the game. They're holding teams down to under 20 points the whole entire season. So if you just get to 20, and that's only like 3 touchdowns at most, 2 touchdowns and some field goals, you'll win the game with that Broncos defense. So yeah, I'm on the same board as you. Has like that defense is legit. I think the Broncos are really that good, especially with the coaching of Sean Payton. So now, because we both just said that the Broncos are that good, and we believe the Broncos are that good. Let's talk about the Chiefs real quick, Hez. Are the Chiefs officially done as Super Bowl contenders? Like, are you ready to say at 5-5, people are talking about they might miss Super Bowl, I mean, they might miss the playoffs? As a Super Bowl contender, the bookies and all and everywhere, DraftKings, all that stuff, they had the Chiefs as a favorite to win the Super Bowl for so long. They still had them in the top five odds to win a Super Bowl. Even at 5-5, they're still at that fifth or even fourth spot to win a Super Bowl. What do you think,
Yeah.
Ed? Are you officially saying that they're done as a Super Bowl contender as of right now?
I mean, record wise, they're not totally out of it. They're like one game behind before they can actually kind of just even out their record, for the remaining schedule. But in the AFC, there's just other teams that have been simply playing better and already solidified their spots in the playoffs kind of moving forward. So in their division between the Broncos and the Chargers, I don't really see them two really losing any more games out like that. And so it's going to be really tough to kind of for the Chiefs to win out for the rest of the season. So how the way it's looking right now, like I said, they're not totally out of it, but there's just so many other better teams in front of them within their division and just the conference alone that if the playoffs were to start today, the Chiefs might they're going to have a lot on their hands in terms of whoever's going to be their opponent. So right now, I'm just going to have to say yeah, just because they're not really showing too much of that they're capable of hanging around in these games like that and actually are able to beat a lot of these AFC teams that are very much hungry this year that are trying to prove a point, rather if it's Indianapolis or anybody else. So I just don't really see that it's enough right now, um power wise from the Chiefs to actually say that they can solidify themselves actually going far in the playoffs and actually going to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I'm in a full agreement with you. I as of right now, I have to say they're done. I think they're officially done as Super Bowl contender. I do not see this Chiefs team winning a Super Bowl. I saw a stat that last year the Chiefs in close games they won almost every single close game. Every game within 3-5 points, they were winning all the games. This year they haven't won one of those. Every time it's a game where it's neck and neck, they've lost every single one. I think at most they might have won one game, but every single time the game's close they go out there and lose it. If they don't have a lead going into that fourth quarter, this Chiefs team is not going to come out here and come back like a lot of people believe. And just like you said, there are just so many other teams in the AFC that I can see beating the Chiefs. We just seen the Broncos, how good that defense is. We know they play the Colts this weekend. If the Chiefs lose to the Colts this weekend, they're officially done. They're going to miss the playoffs. If they lose to the Colts this weekend, we'll talk about our predictions getting into that game. But If they lose that game, they're officially done. So they have the Colts there. They have the Bills there. We'll talk about the Bills, how we feel about them, but they still have the Bills there. The Texans are starting to play good right now. They might make the playoffs with the same exact way the Broncos are playing with just that defense. Who else you got over there? You got the Ravens. The Ravens are surging right now. You have the Ravens that could possibly beat them. There's so many teams that can beat the Chiefs right now. Last year and the years before, we've been saying, oh, I don't know if these teams can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. This year, I'm very confident one of these teams will knock out the Chiefs in the playoffs. I do not believe the Chiefs are going to get to the Super Bowl. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs now. We have to see how this Colts game pulls out. I saw a thing that if the Chiefs lose one game, they have to win out for the rest of the season. They can't lose. They only can afford one more loss. And if they win out the rest of the season, other teams are gonna have to lose, which other teams probably will lose. But if the Chiefs lose one game the rest of the season, their chances go down because right now they're at like a 66, 67% chance. If they look at the percentages of making the playoffs, they're at like a 66% chance. They lose one game. Say if they lose to the Colts this weekend, their odds go from a 66% down to a 30%. Like they're gonna be done. So they cannot afford to lose one game. And with the way the team is playing, I don't even know if they're gonna make the playoffs right now. So I agree. Like we both believe the Chiefs are officially done. I do not believe they're winning the Super Bowl this year. And hey, I'm sorry to say, I'm kind of happy that we don't get the Chiefs in a Super Bowl game. I'm kind of tired of it. Like we got four in a we've had I think four Super Bowls in a row for the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl and six in a row for the AFC Championship. I'm tired of seeing them there. They're like so. And personally, when Brady was doing it, I wasn't tired of it because I personally liked Brady. I don't really like Mahomes like that. So I'm like, he's a dope player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a guy against saying Mahomes is not good. Mahomes is really good, but I'm just tired
Yeah.
of it. Like, I'm tired of the whole entire Taylor Swift thing. I'm tired of Jackson Mahomes. I'm tired of all this. Tired of everything. So I'm finally a year where we get to actually see the Chiefs miss the playoffs. It's music to my ears. So them making a Super Bowl, I really feel like it's off.
Yeah, and like going back to that game that they just lost against Denver, seeing the score at what it was going into the fourth, and I was like, okay, regardless of what kind of game Bo Nix was having, he seemingly seems to thrive like in the fourth quarter alone, no matter how much they're going to be down. But the fact
Hmm.
that it was that close, neck and neck, going into the fourth, I was like, yeah, this is where Bo shines, you know. So I was like, there's no way that they're gonna lose this game, especially being in a home game. So I was like, yeah, they clearly once the fourth quarter kicked off, I was like, yeah, they clearly had the advantage moving on. And I was like, watch, it's probably gonna come down to that last drive. They're gonna get the ball back in their hand, and let alone that's what they end up doing. I think when he made that deep pass, was it to Franklin to get into
Hmm.
field goal range? And then I was like, yeah, that's just the game plan right there. Like there was no stress. There was no worries on the offensive side coming from Sean Payton, let alone to Bo Nix. So I was like, he's just made for those moments, man. So he could literally go from like 11 for 20, whatever, for like the entire game. But as soon as the fourth quarter runs around, he's just like, okay, this is
Yep.
anybody's game now. This is my game. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, props to him. And I'm really glad that they're actually making a strong push right now in that division, let alone just the conference.
You know who Bo Nix kind of reminds me of? Like, I'm not saying that. I'm like, don't get me wrong. Bo Nix is probably more talented than this guy, but I'm just talking about a guy that can have a bad first quarter, a bad second quarter, a bad third quarter, and then the fourth quarter comes around and he wins the game. Kind of reminds me
Who?
of Tim Tebow. How Tim Tebow would go out there
Yeah.
and Tim Tebow would have a bad three quarters, but as soon as the fourth quarter comes, it's crunch time. Tebow was gonna make that throw to get you to the spot to kick a field goal or hit a Demarius Thomas, rest in peace, Demarius Thomas, in the playoffs where on a slant route, one play in the fourth quarter. I mean the overtime, beats the Steelers in the playoffs. Like it's stuff that Bo Nix does. Like he's made for that moment. So that's what he kind of reminds me of, to be honest. Just like the moments he is made for. But yeah, I agree. I think the Chiefs are like done. And going back to what you said about the Broncos, they had a great game plan to get down to get into that spot for the field goal to win the game. They had the perfect game plan to get down there. They weren't even trying to make the extra throws. Sean Payton and Bo Nix, they knew, you know what, we need to get to this yard, and if we get extra yards, it's just cake, icing on the cake. So yeah, me and you both believe it. The Chiefs are officially done as Super Bowl contenders. So Now, I want to move on to something that is kind of getting way too out of line in the NFL right now. We talked about this in the first week of our first episode of our second episode of our show. We talked about it again in some college football that you brought up to my attention. Now we're getting into it again after week 11. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase spits on Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey punches him right in the head, like right in the helmet. Jalen Ramsey just punches him. I think he hits him probably twice. And the one thing I saw at the interview, Jamar Chase said, I didn't spit on him. Like, ain't nothing ever come out of my mouth. Then you go see the video and you see like a whole thick loogie just come out, like a thick one, just all over Jalen Ramsey. First of all, you spit on him. So that's number one. And then you're going to go and tell a bold faced lie on camera when we caught you in 4K, bro. We caught you like on a 4K HD TV. We caught you spitting on him. And you're going to go out there and lie and say you didn't do it. So the NFL just suspended him for one game. Jamar Chase is going to be suspended after spitting on him. So the one thing I want to say, I'll leave this question off where is should the NFL have hit him with more than a one game suspension? One thing I just want to say before I get into answer that question is why are grown ass men spitting on other grown ass men? Like, what kind of childish shit is this right now? Like, honestly, like I don't know where is the manners? Where is the morals? Where you don't spit on a grown man? That's damn near. I told you this last time. I'd rather get punched in the face than someone spit on me. Like, if you don't like
Mm.
me, punch me in the face. Do it. Let's fight. Come on, but don't spit on me. That's the like literally dead ass. Like, that's the one thing. Like my grandparents told me this when I was younger. They said people spit on the floor. So if they spit on you, they're thinking of you like the floor. So like that's what they're looking at you. They're looking at you like you're the bottom of the dirt, bottom of the floor. That's literally how they're looking. So I don't understand
Right.
what's going on. I really don't understand this. Like, why are grown ass men spitting on other grown ass men? But now I just want to say they should have hit him with more than a one game suspension. They should have honestly, personally, they should have suspended him for two or three games without pay. Send a message to these players that you cannot be spitting on other people. If I'm the coach of the Bengals, I know I get it. He's your player. You want to do that? Fuck it. They suspend you one game. You're sitting down another game. Maybe they didn't suspend you, but you're gonna sit out with this next game. They need to send a message to these players and not have them spitting on each other because that's one of the worst things you can do. Personally, that if you know anything, that's a misdemeanor at the moment. That might even be a felony at this moment. Almost, if you spit, that in the new laws, that's assault now. If you spit on someone, you're basically assaulting someone at this point. So my thing is, they should have hit him with something harder. I'm not saying that like it's like worse than starting a brawl or anything like where this is or like maybe something. There's other things you can do that's worse possibly, but just send a message. If they're the NFL, it's just been for two or three. I'm tired of seeing people spit on each other. Like that's like I want over it. Like I don't want to see it again. But if you send a message and suspend someone like Jamar Chase, a star in this league, for 3 games without pay, guarantee that sends a message and it won't happen again. So yeah, I think they should have hit him with something probably worse than just a 1 game suspension.
Yeah, well, I mean, for starters, that's very unsanitary. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
just very disgusting. That's just uncalled for. Like, out of all, like you said, I would rather punch somebody or get punched on than to actually get spit like a whole loogie. Like, come on,
Mm-hmm.
man. Like, I initially didn't even know who technically had first started it, but like, or the altercation. But it is, like I said, it's just totally unnecessary and it's unacceptable to do that at any time, um, regardless of who started it first or not. Like you said, these are still grown men at the end of the day. These are pro athletes, so they don't. I just feel like they don't really need that kind of negativity in football, let alone just sports alone. Especially like you got kids that look up to you, and you're supposed to lead away and set example for what it is to be an actual mature adult. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I'm just simply gonna have to say, yeah, they're gonna. I would feel like they would have to be suspended for more than just one game, maybe two or three, just to to make an example out of them, to being like, this is what you don't do, no matter if it's in the heat of the moment, regardless if you're losing. And um, before the whole thing was, it was happening before games even started. It's like, come on, man, nothing even happened yet. It's just that's all that's going on. But in the
Mhm.
middle of the game, it's like, dude, like there's so much game left and it's anybody's game. And for the most part, the next play could have been favored in your play, but these guys just literally get too bold of themselves and literally just get so much get distracted by one another and just always like to just jaw jab. And I'm like, man, what makes you want to get so fired up that you have to go and spit on another man, regardless if this is your rival or what you guys have going on off the field, or if this is an on-field rivalry between one team and another. It's just, man, it's like, would imagine if your own kid was watching the game, which I'm pretty sure. Like, are you telling him this is okay? Like,
Mhm.
like you grow up and you're gonna be in dad's shoes one of these days. Like, it's okay to go up against somebody that's trying to get the better edge on you and just tell him like, huh, like, like you're beneath me. You're not a human being to me. You're just like how you
Mhm.
said your grandparents said to you. Like you're just somebody that's just a part of the concrete. Like, no, man. Like it's totally unnecessary, and I do feel like they truly do need to be more disciplined, such as more than a one game suspension.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something real quick, like a personal story for you guys. Literally, like I want to say, like over a year, maybe like a little bit over a year ago, I'm sitting out there walking to my car. My neighbor doesn't really like me. My neighbor lives right next door. You can probably hear me talking right now. My neighbor don't really like me. So I'm walking to my car one night. This guy walks up to the car, like he's walking out to his car at the same time. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I already know, bro. He's the type of older dude that wants to just spy on people. So he wants to walk out, make sure I'm not doing anything wrong because he just thinks I'm always doing something wrong. I'm walking out to my car one night. This dude, we get side by side like this. This dude does two and spits on the floor right by my foot. So I damn near flipped out. I was damn near about the. This guy is like 58 years old, 58, 60 something, 50, 58, 55 years old. I'm damn near about to flip out on some old ass man. I really am. Like, I'm really about to just flip out. I end up getting an altercation with him to where I'm like, bro, you better back up. Like, I'm really about to flip out right now. So, long story short, I had to just go inside. I had to just be an adult myself. I was like, you know what? I gotta walk away. I gotta come inside. I gotta cool down. I'm sitting there heated, so I know how it feels for someone damn near try to spit on me. And this was literally like last year. So when Ramsey went out there and punched him right in the face, as soon as it happened, I'm like, boom, yeah, dude, like that's like there's nothing Jalen Ramsey did. Like if that dude probably would have spit on me the way he spit on me, like on my shirt, I probably would have punched him. But he spit on the floor next to me, walk away. But I'm over this whole spitting thing, dude. Like, I don't understand it. What's up with these grown ass men spitting on other dudes? And like you said, Jamar Chase, one of my favorite players in the NFL, too. Jamar is literally like one of my top five favorite players in the NFL. I love watching Jamar Chase play. But after that, it's like I lost a little respect for him as a man. What are you doing? Like, if you don't like Jalen Ramsey, punch him. Just hit him. Like, why are you gonna spit on him? So as a like person like that, I just don't understand it. Like I'm really over this. Like if it really happens again with somebody else, the NFL needs to put their fucking foot down and suspend them for like 5 or 6, but not five, maybe like 3 games. Just do it. Just like they'll get over it. Learn their lesson if you suspend them for more than one game, because one game for one check, they're like, oh, I make millions. I make millions. That's fine. You suspend them for three and fine them 3 games without pay. They'll feel that. They'll feel that in the pockets, and they'll know damn well they're not going to do that again. So, yeah, I have no much else to say about that. I'm really tired of it. You have anything else to say about that?
No, just like you said, simply just punch the motherfucker. Or just like most football players do when they get mad at each other in the heat of the moment. Like you can grab their face mask, like just drag them to the ground, punch, do something else. But spitting on him is just very disrespectful in everyday human life. So yeah, the NFL needs to crack down on doing something about it, and what better way to do it but to give him an extra game or two as just suspension to let it be known and put their foot down. Hey, this is unacceptable, man. Like kids are watching, like other people are watching and thinking that, oh wow, like football players really get away with type of stuff like that, regardless if it's before the game, middle of the game, or after the game. Like, even if it's like I wouldn't even care if it was like in the locker room type thing. It's like, dude,
Hmm.
like that's not okay in general. Like that's you know, and it just depends on really the type of person that they're doing it against too. Like some people take that offensive to where they'd be like, "Oh, you gonna spit on me? Like, all right, like fuck this football shit. Like I'm gonna see you right after this game.
Hmm.
Like you know what? Like this is supposed to be a tight knit community, if you will. So it's like it's not hard to find you. I know where you're at. I know where your locker room is. I know where So it's just all around disrespectful, uncalled for, unnecessary. And even if the NFL doesn't do something about it, I'm like, bro, you guys are getting paid not only by the league or by these owners, but like it should be almost a thing where like some of their sponsorships should be revoked because that's not okay, man. Like like I said, you're supposed to set an example and lead the way. And that's that should be number one on a priority list of like what not to do.
Yeah, and a lot of these players, a lot of these players from the NFL, the NBA, no matter where what league you're in, a lot of these players come from bad neighborhoods. A lot of them, this is like their way out. Like they get up and they make it out of the hood. They get out of their spot where they're from. They come from bad neighborhoods. The one thing is that you do that in one of those bad neighborhoods, you spit on someone, you can get killed for something like that. Like personally, I'm even lying. Like those are like something can go way too far if you do it outside of a football game in the middle of the street in a bad area. Like you just don't do that. Number one is disrespectful. Number two is disgusting and unsanitary. So let's move on to the next topic because that already got my blood boiling talking about that. Like I swear, I just over the spitting. I'm
Yeah,
over
not
the
to sound
spitting.
like that, but like, not to sound like I'm the hardest person in the world, but where I come from, that's either you either getting jumped or somebody's gonna be like, go get that.
Yeah, dead ass. Like that's not something you do at all. But now let's get into my Los Angeles Rams. My Los Angeles Rams went out there and beat the Seattle Seahawks in a like we talked about it last week. We said this was going to be the game of the year. It felt like the game of the year. Like I was standing up at my TV at the end of the game. Like oh my gosh, like Rams they beat the Seahawks in a very close game. The Rams went out there they scored 14 points right away, and I'm sitting there thinking, "Oh, we're gonna win this game pretty easily." Then we scored. We didn't score any points in the second half. It kind of reminded me of that Eagles game. I was like, "Oh no, not again! Like not again! Like please don't let us blow this lead." But the Rams won
Yeah.
the game. Now it looks like we're on our way to the number one seed. It's gonna be us or the Eagles getting the number one seed. The Eagles have the tiebreaker over us right now because they beat us. So right now, the Eagles are gonna have the number one seed as of right now. But the Rams were on our way there as well. And now we're leading the division, and we have the tiebreaker against the Seahawks, and the Niners are already in third in the division right now. So after the Rams have beat the Seahawks, even in a close game like that, has are you ready? Are you ready to say that the Rams are going to the Super Bowl and we're Super Bowl bound?
I pretty much said it since, or we said it pretty much since the
Hmm.
first few games early in the season, is that they pretty much been Super Bowl bound. They're Super Bowl ready. Defense has been playing lights out, limiting their opponents to a certain amount for most of the part. Receiving core has been on the same page, and especially um, with Devontae coming back up and Puka, picking up right where he left off before he had a couple games off. Um, and on top of that, Stafford has been jumping up for a strong case for the league's MVP. So it's like, how would you not look at the Rams as not only a top tier team, but to like pretty much go all the way this year? And yeah, I just see that they hardly have any really weaknesses on both sides right now of the ball. And they look really good. They don't look like they're missing a beat whatsoever. So yeah, I'm gonna really just have to say they're gonna be one of my favorites to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yep, and I agree. Me and you both said it. I believe I gotta double check, but I had the Rams playing the Bills Super Bowl. So when we get to the year, I had the Rams going to Super Bowl already. I believe you had the Rams and Ravens. I believe that's what you had. I think you had the Rams going to Super Bowl as well. So since the beginning of the season, we both had the Rams going to the Super Bowl. We both thought this was going to happen. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, the Rams have no chance. The Rams are not going to make it. They're not that good." Now I feel like everyone's drinking the Kool Aid. everyone knows the Rams are going to be there. I believe we are going to go to the Super Bowl. I believe we're Super Bowl bound right now. I believe we're the best team in the NFL. Sorry for a spoiler for my top five teams in the NFL. I'm going to tell you right now, the Rams have been my best team in the NFL for the last 3 weeks, and it's going to go to four. We're going to be the best. We're the best team in the NFL right now. So
Mhm.
with Stafford, the way he's playing, he's killing it. Kyron Williams is running the ball very well. That our defense is in the beginning of the year, we started off bad, giving up a lot of penalties, but now going into week 12, we are the least penalized defense in the league right now. So we don't give up free yards. We're going to make you earn those yards. We're getting to the quarterback. We're making you rush early throws to where you're going to make bad throws because we're rushing the opposite the quarterback. We're not getting too many sacks. Like Byron Young is getting some sacks, but overall we're not getting a whole bunch of sacks like some other teams. But what we're doing is we're making you rush. We're making you throw the ball, and a lot of those balls are being thrown bad. So yeah, just the way the Rams playing, all around a good team. We have a good coach. We have a good quarterback. So like this is a recipe for a Super Bowl team. We have a top five coach, we have a top five quarterback, and we got a top five defense. That's a recipe for a Super Bowl team. So I believe we are Super Bowl bound. So yeah, like I said, I feel like me and you had really not much to say about us about that, like before, like because we've been saying the Rams are going to the Super Bowl. So now after this win, I believe it's like more of a for sure thing going to the Super Bowl. But the one thing we need to talk about real quick is the same as that game, but going to the other side. Like I said, pressuring the quarterback and leading the having the quarterback make some bad throws is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold went out there and threw four interceptions against the Rams, and the Seahawks still almost won the game because that defense is so good for Seattle. They still went out there and almost won the game. But four interceptions by Sam Darnold, I'm gonna lead this one off. Is he gonna be the reason of the collapse for Seattle this year? Yes, he is. I like Sam Darnold. I was a fan of him coming out of college. But the one thing Sam Darnold does is I don't know if he can go and win games under pressure. Like I get it, he has game-winning drives. He wins these close games. If you look at the stats, but if you go look at the games where you need him to play, he doesn't do well. Go to the Lions game last year. He went out there and had a bad game. Then you go when he played the Rams in the playoffs last year. He had a bad game. Now he's with Seattle. He plays the Rams again in a game where it's probably going to tell the who wins the division. He has a bad game. So it seems like he wins these games when you kind of he'll win a close game early in the season when you're like, oh, what's going to happen? He'll win a close game. You'll be thinking, oh, Sam Darnold's clutch. But then when it comes down to playing these games where you really, really need the win, he folds under pressure. So, yeah, my answer is yes. I like Sam Darnold. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Sam Darnold, but I do believe he's going to be the reason why the Seahawks eventually collapse and not go as far as their expectations should be. So, yeah, the answer is yes. I think Sam Darnold's going to be the reason.
Yeah, and I've been rooting for him because Southern California, man. Like
Hmm.
he's a fellow. Uh, I guess you could put him up as a Trojan legend, but for the most part, it's like he's he's not a bad quarterback overall. Like he's better than a lot of other people on depth charts and stuff. Like he resume pretty much speaks for itself, but there's just times that he just makes boneheaded decision that costs his team big time, especially in the
Hmm.
clutch moments. And it's no secret that Seattle has been not really sort of, but kind of pretty much carrying him by their defense. Like they have a really phenomenal defense out there that makes really big plays and stuff like through all four quarters, not even just in clutch time. So
Hmm.
um, yeah, I just feel like really he is going to be that downfall for Seattle because when they could have easily won a game or just went ahead, he just throws a pick or he just doesn't make the right read. And his team all across the board is just too talented for somebody like him just to throw games away like that. And honestly, I said it since before this season even started because I mean, obviously they're record wise they're doing a lot better than we've actually predicted how we're going to do how the Seahawks were going to do before the season kicked off. But
Hmm.
um, I just felt like, in my opinion, I felt like he really shouldn't even have left Minnesota, especially with their situation going on right now of really having nobody to throw the ball decently to JJ and to getting that offense going aboard. Obviously like McCarthy isn't really doing anything, even when him coming back. They even when he was out, you lost your backup quarterback for the rest of the season. So they just have no offensive rhythm. But while he was there last year, they weren't a bad team. At least he had somebody to throw to. But
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much kind of foresaw how it was going to go down anyway. Like, yeah, you're going down to Seattle. It looks good on paper. You're probably like, yeah, I got a better defense and I got some weapons out there, so I'm not totally alone. But it's not the team, dude. It's just you. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're costing your team a lot of these games, and you're switching the momentum, and the defense is like, ugh, like, and I know we can handle it, but do we got to go back out right now? It's like we should be going up right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I truly do feel like he's going to be the downfall for Seattle.
Yeah, and I root for him. Same thing with you. We both root for him. We both like are fans of Sam Darnold, Southern California, USC. I've been watching him for a long time. But now it's just like he just seems like he's not ready for the moment. Like he's had a resurgence of his career, and I'm very happy for him that he has had a new career basically because now he's coming back and showing he actually can be a starting quarterback in this league. But I just don't think he's ready for the moment, and I think you're on the same exact page. So yeah, we're basically on the same exact page about Sam Darnold. We both believe he's going to be the collapse for this team. So now a team talking about a resurgence. I know it was the Raiders, but Cowboys blew out the Raiders. We both said it. We both thought they were going to blow out the Raiders. Either way, we both said we thought they were going to cover that spread. And they were going to dominate that game, which I was surprised. It was only a 3-point spread. I'm like, it should have been like a 7-point spread because I thought they were going to go out there and whoop them, honestly. But the Cowboys blow out the Raiders. Their defense looked like it had a resurgence. Their defense looked really good. I know it's the Raiders, but that defense looked like with those two pickups they had with Quentin Williams and who was the other person they picked up? They picked up Quentin Williams and
Logan Wilson.
yes, and Wilson. So with those two pickups, the defense actually looked like it was pretty good. So my thing is now is has as an ex Dallas Cowboys fan, what do you think? Can the Cowboys make a legit playoff push now with how good the defense look they're playing? And their offense is still money right now. Their offense scores about 27 to 30 points a game, but that defense, what do you think? Do you think they can make a playoff push as of right now?
Fuck no. No, I'm just kidding.
you almost made me you almost made me spit out my drink. I was not expecting. no.
I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like a big cowboy hater, but at the same time I am, just because it's like, yeah, y'all the reason why it was so bad this amount of years that I had to go and switch for another team, which rightfully so. Like, Buccaneers could lose all their games and I'll still probably be like, yeah, raise the flags. I found a new calling. I found a team that I can actually, die for no matter what.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, defensively they look better on the field. By the way, Jerry Jones spent a couple picks to kind of shape them up, if you will. Uh, but I don't know. I don't know that they'll last long enough to actually make the playoffs this season. Just by how competitive the NFC is right now, um, I can see them making these recent acquisitions to kind of better themselves hypothetically for next year and for like seasons to come, because it was no secret that they were just getting mauled on defense. Like, no matter if it was the run game or the passing game, like they just didn't have an answer for anybody. Like,
Hmm.
especially having a legitimate force to kind of get to the quarterback since the Micah trade. It was like, yeah, you got Clark, but I mean, like, dude's pretty much my age. Like, he's way past the vet. Like, this dude could retire next year, and it would just be a waste of time.
Hmm.
But um, yeah, I truly don't really see them going that much far this year, especially because, like, yeah, the Eagles are one thing to kind of worry about because not only they're on top of your guys' division, they're a powerhouse in that conference alone, but there's just so many teams out in the NFC, like in every other division, that's also can pretty much consider being a powerhouse. Like, what if you go against the Lions, you're probably gonna get like mauled, like from beginning of the snap to the end of it. If they go even at their worst, like if you go against like the Bears or somebody, I feel like other teams just have that much more an advantage because a lot of teams look at Dallas on the schedule, no matter if it's in the regular season or going into the postseason, they're just like, yeah, we got their number because they
Mhm.
know that Dallas overall as a team, no matter who's on that team, they lack the confidence that they can actually do it, or Dak can have a balling out game and carry his team literally to make it a close game or to come back, but somehow the defense is going to fold, or it's going to be a lot of missed catches. So it's not really surprising, but at the same time, like I said, I just from these recent trade acquisitions that they've recently got, yeah, it shapes them up. It looks good on paper, but as for the rest of this season, I don't think they can really match up against a lot of other teams out there. So I'm gonna really say no. They're probably not gonna make the playoffs.
Dang, this one's honestly a hard question for me to answer, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I think they can. I think they can make it. I think it's gonna come down to this weekend. I think it's gonna come down to if they can beat the Eagles or not. And if they beat the Eagles in Dallas, I think that is possible because then they got the Chiefs after that, and if the Chiefs are just not looking good right now anywhere. So the Eagles, if they can beat the Eagles, then they can beat the Chiefs. So it's gonna come down to those two games if they can win those two games or not. And I guess I want. I mean, I'm gonna say yes because I'll let you know my prediction for the Eagles game. But the reason why I'm saying yes is because I think it's possible. And just the way that defense look, that offense is going to put up 30. The offense is going to go out there and score. And with how the Eagles have been playing, they have been able to score recently. And that the defense looked better for the Cowboys. So as long as the Cowboys can hold the other team down to about 24 points, they can win the game. Just don't let them score 30 and you can win the game. Because their offense is legit and they can score these points. So I'll probably change my mind after this weekend, but as of right now, I'm gonna say yes because it is possible. I don't know. Maybe I'm drinking the Dallas water a little bit, and I'm sitting here thinking like it's possible. But you know what happens when you have expectations on the Cowboys? That's when they let you down. So when they have no expectations, they start doing good. But yeah, I think it's a hard question for me. I'm gonna have to just say yes right now, but we'll see after this weekend, and we can revisit this question because next our next episode, as if they beat the Eagles, we're gonna come on here in that next episode and say, are the Cowboys for real? Like, are they a team that can actually be a scary team in the playoffs? If they lose to the Eagles, the question is going to be next week: are the Cowboys done? Like that's going to be it's going to be one of those two. So I'm going to say yes as of right now, but not something I'm confident in. But we'll see how it goes next week because we got to see how they play against the Eagles this week. So I think the Cowboys are like 50-50 right now, but I'm leaning a little bit towards yes that they can make the playoff push. But now, the topic I've been waiting for to talk about all week: Shaduer Sanders made his NFL debut after Dylan Gabriel got hurt. Shador Sanders came in. He played the third and the fourth quarter. Kind of had a bad game. He went out there. He was 4 for 16, and he threw an interception. He almost threw another one, and he just looked lost out there. Honestly, just when I tuned into the game, I think I messaged you. I was like, Shador's in. I was like, Shador's in the game. I was like, oh, I'm watching this now. I
Yeah,
literally the Rams game was on. I was like, let me put on the. I was literally at this. My girl comes out of the room and says, "Are you watching two games?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like this. I'm watching both the games." I'm like, "Shador's in. I gotta watch it." So he had a bad game. He didn't look very comfortable out there. But the question is for this one, and I'll leave this one off. Is it bad quarterback play by Shador, or is it bad Browns coaching? I'm gonna say it was bad Browns coaching. I think the Browns coaching, I think they put him in a horrible, horrible situation. They did not have him ready. I saw everyone was talking about that the offensive line was saying they never heard his snap count. They didn't know any of his calls going to the game. They said they never heard it one time. He had 0 reps with the first team. He's never had a rep with the first team. And as a backup quarterback to have 0 reps with the first team, what is Kevin Stefanski doing? You know you have Dylan Gabriel that's already playing bad as a quarterback, and you know he's small. where he has a possibility of getting hurt with how small he is, and you have your backup quarterback and you're not going to give him any first team reps. I get it. If you have 30 reps for your team, 30 to 40 reps, you telling me Shador couldn't get about 10 or 15? He couldn't get like 10. Put him in there for a bit. Let him get some. Let him get some good. Let the offensive line know his rapport. Let him know his calls, so they know his snap count. They know everything. He went out there blind. He went out there
Yeah,
never running with the first team, never running the playbook with the first team. He went out there totally blind against a good team in the Ravens. With that, we've been talking about how the Ravens defense has been looking good recently. The Ravens defense is starting to look like it's back. So Shador was just put in a bad situation. Kevin Stefanski is about to get fired at the end of this year. He's about to get fired. Like the way he's
yeah.
doing, that's like I'm not on the conspiracy theories. I was never on it. I was never like, oh, they're just trying to make Shador look bad. I said last week, I'm like, I'm starting to believe it. I'm really starting to believe it. Like a guy in Kevin Stefanski, that's a coach of the year, a arguably a top 10 coach in the NFL, just the way he coaches his team. You're not going to have your backup quarterback have any starting reps at all in practice and not have him ready at all. To hear the offensive line say we never heard any of his calls, we didn't know his snap count, we didn't know anything. That's honestly wild. Like that just shows that Kevin Stefanski just does not care about Shador. The one thing you know is that Kevin Stefanski didn't want Shador. The GM didn't want Shador. It was the owner. The owner made the phone call and said, "Hey, you draft him with this pick," because they were gonna pass on him still. They didn't even want him. So
Yeah.
it was the owner making the decision. So they went out there. It was totally bad coaching. Like I don't understand why he never had any reps at the first team. Yes, he had a bad game. People can say, "Oh, it's about the player executing." How are you going to execute? We don't even know the playbook. You don't even know anybody. You don't even know which way these receivers like the ball. You don't even know what the how the offensive line is going to block for you. You don't know anything. And the one thing is the offensive line kept breaking down while he was in there. He had no time. He was like, it was just a bad overall game plan when he got in there overall. So yes, I'm going with it was bad coaching. Very bad coaching.
Some point, why would you do it in the most critical time of the game against this team, especially when you're so unsure about Dylan Gabriel moving forward? So hey, Gabriel's not it. But then all regardless of what the score is, you're just like, oh, Shador, he's probably not even like he was ready, but not ready. He's probably like, oh, me? Like you want me to go in right now
Well, it was
against this
because
team?
Dylan Gabriel got a concussion.
But even within, it was
Yeah,
like, dude, like it was almost bound to happen at some point. Knowing of the
yeah.
type of the caliber player that he already is so short. You can't, you really don't make the best reads at it as it is. If anything, they're trying to help you out by drawing these little short slants and plays and little in routes just to make sure that you don't over you don't overlook the deep pass or underthrowing a lot of these plays. So a lot of that was just designed for him to actually try to make it better for him systematically wise. But not condoning that any player should get hurt, but it was like, yeah, like what did you really expect? Dylan
Mhm,
Gabriel's not like physically made for those moments in terms of actually sticking in there and hoping for the best. So but it was like if that was really the case, or if you can kind of see that it was going to be a very challenging thing, especially where the momentum was before that game with the Ravens of how much they're starting to collectively get together and start to get on a roll. I think they should have just started Shador from the jump then if that was
mhm.
really the case. But if they were planning to put him in at some point, or if they were so sure about Dylan. But everyone's so quick to kind of just look at him and how bad he played, but they fail to realize of what he was asked to do in that game situation. So, like you said, it wasn't just him finally getting rest with the first team. It was like nobody's literally blocking for this guy. So it's like, what did you really expect him to do? So I'm just like, man, um, it's the same critics even before he even got into the game that were just like, nah, Shador, he's just in there because of he's just only in the league because of his dad, and he's not a good quarterback, and so on and so on. But I'm like, man, if you actually give this guy a chance, he actually can prove that he belongs in the league and that he's actually capable to make plays and play winning football. So, like you said, the coach didn't want him. He already has a lot of stacked against him. Like you got all the critics out there, you got the coaches and GMs didn't want him. Obviously, like pretty much a decision made by the higher ups to draft him for this specific reason because you got rid of Flacco. Pickett was cut, and God forbid, like how he did, he gets hurt. Who were you really gonna have out there? So of course it was gonna be Shador,
Hmm.
but you didn't prep, get ready for those type of moments to being like, hey, at any pull him out, or if he gets hurt, you're the next guy up. But right out the gates, did they really expect him just to be going for like 10 for 10 and just be throwing darts out there like that? Like, no, you got to get this guy more prepped in practice and more reps with the team. So, yeah, I just don't like how everybody's so quick to jump down his throat like that.
Yeah, especially with like no reps for the first team and getting put in there in a very clutch situation. But the one thing Shador did do is that last drive, we saw glimpses. We saw the what Shador could do, making those deep passes, making some good reads. He started looking good. He didn't look good when he first got in there, but when that last drive came and he started getting a little comfortable, like, okay, this is the speed. This is what these guys want to do. He started making some good throws. And yes, they lost the game, but he started looking good towards the end. But it was a little bit too late for him to even do anything. But Shador gets his first start this Sunday, where I am going to be all over watching that game. I'm gonna watch the whole entire thing. Where I'm gonna be at work probably when the game is on, but I'm gonna be at work watching the games. I want to see how Shador does playing against the
Yeah.
Raiders. He gets his first start against the Raiders. I'll lead this one off. It's what should we expect from Shador's first start? Now that he has a whole entire game plan that's gonna be built around him. Now that he has a full reps with the first team. I'm gonna tell you what I expect. I expect the Browns to come out there and win that game as underdogs. They're 3.5 point underdogs. I think they win outright. I think the Browns go out there and beat the Raiders. That defense is going to hold the Raiders probably down to about 16, 17 points. I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to score on them. I think Geno's going to have a bad game against that defense. Myles Garrett's going to go out there and get a couple sacks by himself. Myles Garrett's going to break through the offensive line. Shador, though. Shador's going to win that game. Personally, honestly, I think Shador goes out there and has a great game. I really do think Shador comes out there and this is his moment. This is his moment to show everybody that what everyone, all the trash are talking on him, everyone saying he's not ready for the league. This is his moment to go out there and win this game. I'm expecting a great game from Shador. I'm expecting something about 215 yards passing, 215, 220 yards passing, two touchdowns, about like 40 yards rushing. I think he's going to get out of the pocket and run a little bit. I think about 40 yards, 35 yards for him. I also expect the interception though. He is his first ever start. He's gonna go out there have a little bit of jitters. I do expect at least one interception, but I expect Shador to go out there have a great game. Like I said, about 215 yards, two touchdowns, win the game outright as an underdog, and show that he's ready for the league. That's what I expect from Shador.
Yeah. I believe the Browns just overall will have a much better game compared to how they just played against the Ravens. I mean, it's tough in general just because no matter what position the Ravens are, it's their defense, man. Like not a lot of teams are gonna go out there and have a superb game all around as a whole team. But
Hmm.
um, not only for Cleveland, but that Shador himself will bounce back and deserve to be drafted. and also deserves to be the starting moving forward. And I also do expect for him to have a breakout game. Might end up throwing a pick, but he'll learn from that very quickly, and he will ultimately give the team that spark that they really need to feel more comfortable. As an offense, we all could see how much the potential the defense have and how much out there and get it. But I feel like that's what kind of goes under the radar as well, that most the media doesn't talk about, is that his teammates actually do support him. So they were just like waiting for this moment to actually happen. They're just like, hey man, just go out there, do what you do, we know what you can do. And the more that he leans into that and gets more comfortable, so is everybody else. They're going to be like, oh yeah, like they're going to continue to keep vouching for him, that this is the person that we really need to keep developing and keep on our squad, and let him be the one to kind of take the reins and build around him per se. So yeah, I truly feel like this is going to be that game for him to go out and show everybody, especially against the Raiders. They're not the best team. They both have pretty much the same record right now, but I feel like the Browns could easily be that much of a better team, especially with a fresh start and having a Shador out there.
Yep. Hey, we both expect it. We think it's going to be a breakout game for Shador. For sure. Our next episode, episode 20 after the snap, is just going to say, after the snap, Shador. Like, because it's going to be the lead out the whole entire show. The whole entire show, we're going to be talking about Shador. This is going to be the first topic we first get into. We're going to probably have like 3 or 4 topics about Shador next week, because we are going to be talking about him for sure. Because he is going to lead, win or lose. The, Shador will be leading every single sports show, their first or second topic in the whole entire show. Every sports show is going to have Shadour Sanders. They're going to talk about him, but he's going to have a breakout game. We both believe it. It's it's time. It's
After the
time. We're going.
Shador.
It's time. Yeah. After the Shadour. That's what it's going to be called. After the Shadour. But now, before we get into our top 5 teams of the NFL heading into Week 12, and then we get into our whole entire Week 12 predictions, let's talk about how this game ended real quick. The Bills went out there and lost to the Texans. The Texans went out there and had Josh Allen throw 2 interceptions. They looked like they could not run the ball. They couldn't do anything against this Texans defense. I always want to. It's gonna be a one question thing, Has, and I'm gonna ask you it. It's gonna be. I'll answer it too after you, but I'll let you lead this one off. Is it more of the Texans being the defense just being that good, or the Bills? Should the Bills be worried about how they're playing?
I feel like it's a little bit of it was. I feel like it's a both on this one
Mhm.
for me, because even though the Texans have lost a good amount of games this year, it's more of like there's no question that D'Amico Ryan's, I believe that's the coach name. You know he handpicked these players for a reason to be a part of that culture, and Houston has always pretty much had a good defensive players that no matter what the record says, they're gonna play their hearts out from the first snap to the end, even if it's a blowout.
Mhm.
So that game just really showed of what their full potential is, and that at any given night, on when it's time for them to get on the defense, they can stop anybody really. So rather if it's getting pressure or just getting everybody on the same page in the secondary, clearly it showed against that game against Josh Allen. But yeah, hats off to them, because I mean, in all actuality, as much as there was a good defense, I expected kind of Buffalo to come out and actually make a statement. But um, yeah, I feel like Buffalo does kind of have to be worried, because you're considered arguably one of the best teams in the NFL, let alone in the AFC. But they were just completely struggling on all sides. Like, rather if it was they couldn't really get things going offensively. Special teams, they look like they could barely even, catch the ball to get up and down the field, or let alone for a fair catch. It's just
Mhm.
Josh Allen just doesn't look comfortable out there, and it's just like, man, like somebody I hit like anybody would kill to have his level of stature, to be that tall, and to have that IQ level to kind of see where you're gonna move the rock to, and be able to play call. But they were just getting the best out of him that game, man. And moving forward, like if they're gonna actually can be considered that they're not only top of the NFL, that are a lot of teams going to be scared looking at them when they play against them when it comes down to playoff time. So they just haven't really looked too much in sync right now, and they're kind of looking back to that team when they lost to Atlanta like almost last month before they start getting back together again. It was like they lost it, then they started to come back a little bit, but then they're starting to take a few steps back again. So yeah, if I was them, I would kind of have to be worried, man, because they haven't been running the football as very as well as much as they were used to beginning of the season. The pass game isn't really up there. The offensive line is kind of a little bit of questionable because they've been kind of like holding on a lot of unnecessary plays or just not really just having that chemistry all together. So um, yeah, I would kind of feel worried, but in this case, for this topic, I would feel like it was a little bit of both. Houston just kind of had their number, and but Buffalo just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I agree with you. I think this defense for the Texans are legit. Like they're really a really good team. They're holding teams like under 20 points a lot of their games. Every single game the Texans have lost this all the losses they had this season are one score games. They haven't lost a game more than a one score game. So they are doing very well. That defense is legit. But the one thing I can say about the Bills, they should be worried though because their offense is not looking good. Josh Allen is has no weapons out there. Receivers can't get any separation at all, and Josh Allen is starting to force things. He's trying to be Superman again. 3 years ago, this 2 or 3 years ago, this is what Josh Allen was doing. He was throwing a whole bunch of interceptions, and he was winning games and putting up stats, but he was throwing picks, and he's back
Yeah,
to that again this year. One thing about Josh Allen winning the MVP last year is because he was not throwing any interceptions. He was being very good to the offense. His receivers are getting open. This year's his receivers not getting open at all. I think it's a very big disappointment about how he has no weapons really out there this year. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the offensive play calling. Maybe it's the receivers not getting separation, or maybe it's just a little bit of both. And plus, like I just think Josh Allen needs to try not to be Superman. Play inside the easy plays. Get the ball down the field. If you get a field goal, get a field goal. But stop trying to make the big heavy plays because as of right now, the offense is not looking good, and their defense just cannot stop the run at all. Like their run defense is horrible right now. Everybody's running against the Bills. They're average giving up 120 yards rushing per game.
yeah.
Everybody runs against this Bills defense. So but yeah, I lean it more towards the Bills being worried about, but I just want to say the Texans defense is good. The Texans defense is really good. Top three defense in the NFL right now. So I think they're probably second, probably right behind the Denver Broncos. But yeah, I agree with you. It's a little bit of both, but I'm leaning more towards the Bills, that the Bills really, really needed to be worried going into this playoffs. Because I had them going to the Super Bowl. As of right now, I don't know if they're going to make the Super Bowl now, but the AFC is wide open. The AFC is wide open right now, so they still have a chance. But they need to start getting their offense
Yeah,
back together.
it just seems like offensively they just kind of all together look like they're just kind of overthinking everything, and yeah, they just don't really look that much in sync. Especially this was like the I believe the second game in a row where they had to. I think the coach made the decision to bench Keon Coleman, which was supposed to be one of their main go to receivers, was benched because of like some off the field shit, like he's late to practice or he's kind of not taking it serious. So I'm just like, huh, you know, which really shouldn't be that much of a big deal because they should have the next man up and they should be really talented in terms of the receiving core. But yeah, they just other than them with the off the field stuff, and then when it comes to translating on the field, it's a combination of everything, right? Like they're not getting a bunch of separation. Josh Allen is kind of having to force everything or overthink everything. So I don't know what's gonna take, but they gotta realize like, hey man, you guys are talented, and shit. Last week when my Bucks were playing against them, I'm thinking like, man, you know, kind of similar going into this week, going against the Rams. I was like, yeah, this is probably going to be one of those L's we're going to take, especially we're playing at their home field up in Buffalo. But this seemed like the only thing that was really working for us, regardless of what the score was, is that we can rely on running the ball up and down the field against them.
Hmm.
And this is our third, fourth string having a career day against them. So I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm always up for any of our players to do good, especially for ones that are being overlooked and being undrafted, and let alone somebody who's not supposed to get that much reps. But I was all kind of questioning about the Bills' run defense themselves. I'm like, okay, if you're just letting anybody, like you said, just having a over 100 yards against y'all with no ease and no sweat, it's starting to become a problem. So obviously, it showed when they just took that L recently against the Houston Texans. So they got a lot to worry about, man, just on both sides of the ball. Unless they want to actually make a run for the Super Bowl this year and not be one of those teams considered be one and done, they just got to make these quick adjustments.
Yeah, they need to get that run defense fixed right away. If tell you right now, if they keep playing like this, Sean McDermott's losing his job, and they're going to get a new head coach next year for sure. Because you cannot waste Josh Allen's prime like this. You just really cannot. So now, top five teams going into Week 12. I'll tell you guys right now. I had the Bills at five. They were going to be my number five spot. I'll leave this one off. They were going to be my number five spot. But now that I saw Thursday Night Football, and I saw them lose to the Texans, they're out of my top five. So, number five, I debated, but I feel like 4 through 1 is easy for me. Number five was a debate. It came down to 3 teams. I thought about putting the Colts in there, thought about it, but I had the Colts down at like 7. I think the Colts are like 6 or 7. I also thought about putting the hold on. Oh my bad. Yeah, I was like, let me. I forgot the team. I had to go look. I thought about putting the Seahawks there, but the Seahawks they lost to the Rams, but they almost won the game. Their defense is really good. I almost thought I'll put in the Seahawks there, but I had the Seahawks at like 6-7, same as like 6-7. Like what's it called? I had them. I had them right there as well. But the team I'm putting at number five. This team hasn't been in anybody's top five team. They have not been in anybody's top five team in about, I want to say, at least 5 years, maybe 6 years. But they're my top five teams this year. And they just got in there, and I'm very, very happy to say it. Chicago Bears at number five. They're 7-3 right now. They're winning so many close games. Caleb is starting to look like a superstar, winning these games in the fourth quarter. Every time the game is close, Caleb's making crazy plays out there and winning games in the fourth quarter. I'm very happy. I told you I was about to kick this dude off my team list. I was about to kick him off like, bro, you're not a part of my favorite players anymore. But I'm happy. Caleb is starting to look like the player I thought he would be, and he's winning these games. The Bears are 7-3. Nobody has them in their top five besides me. I just looked everywhere. Everyone's top five. Nobody has the Bears top five. Bears are a top five team in the NFL this week. List goes up and down every week. We'll see how they look against the Minnesota Vikings coming up. But I have the Bears top five. Caleb is turning into a superstar. They're winning every close game. Bears at five. Like I said, Seahawks and Colts, it was right there. Seahawks, Colts, Bears, they're all right there for my fifth spot. But I have to put the Bears because I have to do it. Bears at number five. First time in like 10 years they're in top five teams in the NFL. Fourth spot is going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are on my fourth spot. I believe the Eagles they have the best record I believe in the NFL right now. Like right now they're 8-2. Same with the Broncos and same with the Rams, but just the Eagles, like being the defending champions, you have to put them at like number one. So I'm the number one seed right now. So the Eagles, I have them at four. Their offense needs to pick it up a little bit, but their defense is looking really good. They're winning games just barely winning games by low scoring, but the defense is holding up. But the offense needs to start like working it out. Like I can't put them in my top three because all the drama, people talking trash on Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, the receivers getting mad saying they want the ball more. Eventually, I think that's going to come to bite them in the ass. So I have them at four. I can't put them in my top three. At the third spot, this one was hard. This one was really hard, but I still have to do it. For the third or fourth week in a row now, the Broncos at three. They're still my third spot. The Broncos, they just beat the Chiefs. They had a really good game against the Chiefs, but I have to put them at the third spot because I personally just don't think they're better than the top two teams in the NFL right now. But I have the Broncos at three. The defense is good. They coming off a great win, and I'm very excited to see this Bronco team moving forwards. But they're at number three. Number two, same as like same. My 3-1 is the same as like as last week. So Broncos three. Number two, the New England Patriots. Until the Patriots go out there and lose a game, they're going to be at my number two spot because they are playing really well. Drake May is the MVP candidate, and they're playing overall. The defense is looking good. Their quarterback is looking great. Drake May is looking like he's a top five quarterback this year. Very excited for this Patriots team too. So I have them at number two. But you guys know, I always said it earlier. The number one team for the fourth week in a row that I have my number one team, the Los Angeles Rams are the best team in the NFL. Hands down, we're great everywhere. Like I said, we have the best coach. We have a top five coach. We have a top five defense, and we have a top five quarterback, the leading MVP candidate, and Matthew Stafford. So that's my top five for you guys. Bears at five, Eagles at four, Broncos at three, Patriots at two, and the Rams, the best team in the NFL.
Yeah. Um, that's a very good list. At number five, I'm probably gonna have to start with Adam Sandler's football team with the prisoners against the guards.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna go with the longest yard prison team.
Nah, I'm just playing. But believe it or not, that's the exact same list I pretty much wrote down right before this podcast started. I had to make a little last minute tweaks, and I was gonna have the Bills in there, but because they just recently lost to Houston on Thursday night, I was like, kind of disappointing. But for the first time, I think for me, for out of uh, this entire season so far, as we've been starting up this podcast, I just been like, man, I might have to actually leave him off this list for right now. But
Hmm.
yeah, from top to bottom, one through five, especially with the Rams leading, and then ending off with the Bears. It's pretty obvious right now who's actually clearly dominating and deserves to be as a top five on the list. I was gonna put the Colts in there too and the Seahawks as well, but I was like, nah, like let me actually put the Bears in there. I'm not gonna get rid of the Broncos. Even consider being maybe the Lions too, but I was like, nah, I kind of somewhat similar to like the Bill situation. Like, granted, it was against the Eagles, so I wasn't really trying to mark them down too much, but I was like, man, they're kind of
But they
kind
are
of
six
struggling
and
right now.
four. Yeah.
So record wise they're still up there. Obviously it's between them, it's pretty much a three-way brawl right now between them, the Bears, and the Packers to go out the north. So um yeah, I just feel like right now that's pretty much the most accurate list we can both pretty much come up with right now as a top five.
Yeah. We had the same exact list back to back weeks now. So it seems like we're both on the same page with who we think are the best teams in the NFL. But the Bears, top five. Caleb at the top five team in the NFL. Sounds great.
Yeah, I was happy.
Sounds
I was
great.
like, yeah, put them on.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm happy that Ben Johnson and the Bears are actually having a great season so far. So those are our top five teams of the week, guys. So now, before we get out of here, we're going to give you our predictions for tomorrow's games and Monday's games. We're going to start off with the first game. It's going to be a team that's in a must win. It's going to be Colts taking on the Chiefs. This game is going to be played in Arrowhead. I will give you my prediction for this game. Personally, I got the Chiefs winning this game. I think the Chiefs can't afford to lose, and I can't trust Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is starting to play bad recently. Daniel Jones is starting to give up turnovers. He's starting to turn into the old Daniel Jones that we saw before the last couple games. So I'm going to trust Patrick Mahomes to come out here at Arrowhead to win this game. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win this game. I'm gonna say Chiefs win this game 28-21. Chiefs cover that spread and win this game.
Yeah, I would have to give it to them as well, just because they are playing in KC, and it's just so hard. I mean, not to be like into conspiracies or nothing like that as well, but it's damn near hard to beat the Chiefs in at Arrowhead or whatever stadium they call it now, just because it's that's already to their advantage. It's something about it
Pencil
that
neck stadium.
yeah,
I'm just
like
kidding.
it's like once they're at home, no matter what position they are during the season, not too many teams are really, you're not going to just go in there and knock them off really that easy for the most part, let alone do it. So, if they were in Indy, it would probably be like,
Yeah.
maybe you might be going with the opposite, but I think it's gonna be a little bit close. But ultimately, at the end, I'm gonna have to say KC 27-21.
Yeah, I think what I said 20, 28, 21. And so we're basically on the same exact score. So yeah, we both think the Chiefs win this game. Next game, guys. Seahawks going into Tennessee to play the Titans. This one shouldn't be that hard. The Seahawks are like 13-point favorites. They're like projected to win by like damn near 2 touchdowns. I'm gonna take the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks win this game. I think the Seahawks roll. I can't trust the Titans offense at all. I'm taking the Seahawks to win. I'm gonna say the Seahawks win this game 28-10. I think the Seahawks hold this Titans offense down. I think the Seahawks win this game pretty easily. And I think they might cover that spread too. So 28-10 Seahawks.
Yeah, that's pretty much their damn near the same identical score I had. I had them winning 28-13.
28-13. Yeah. So we both think it's gonna be a over a 2 touchdown win. I can't trust the Titans to score points, and especially against the Seahawks defense. I just seen how they played against the Rams. I think they hold this Titans offense down. Now the Vikings going into Green Bay to play the Packers. I think this game's going to be a little bit close just because it is a divisional matchup, and a lot of these divisional matchups are close. I think JJ McCarthy is probably going to have an okay game, but I think this is a big bounce back game for Jordan Love. One thing about Jordan Love, he's a roller coaster. This guy goes like this. He's inconsistent, but he goes up and down, up and down. He's had a couple bad games, so he's due for a good game now. So I think Jordan Love comes out the year, has a good game. I think the game is close, but I think Jordan Love playing good is going to lead him to a victory. I'm going to say the Packers win this game 27-24. Probably a close victory, but I'm taking the Packers at home to win this game.
Yeah, that needs to be J Love's actual theme song for the rest of the season. Roller coaster. Um, yeah, I kind of feel like it's going to be pretty much a close game because usually it is between Mini and Green Bay for some odd reason, no matter if they're in Green Bay or Minnesota. But I do feel like it's going to be a bounce back game for him as well. I'm gonna say I'm not really I'm not really too fond or expect too much out of McCarthy. I'm gonna just say 21-16 Green Bay.
21-16. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm giving a little bit more respect to McCarthy, I guess, but only because it's a divisional matchup. But I do believe this defense for the Packers and Jordan Love's going to have a pretty good game. So, yeah, we both are on the Packers winning this game. Next one, a game where I expect a blowout as well. I think they're like 10-point favorites. Going to be the Jets going into Baltimore to play the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens, guys. I think the Ravens win this game. I'm going to say the Ravens put up about a 30 piece. I'm going to say the Ravens win this game 30-15 Ravens.
Yeah, that's pretty much on point too for me. I would just say I also believe it's gonna be a 30 piece for them. I'm gonna say the most the Jets probably score is like 13.
Yeah, so the 13. Yeah, we're both on the same exact page. We think the Ravens roll in that one. Another game where I think the team rolls because they're on a must win, especially with how the division's on right now and with how good this team is playing. I mean, how bad the other team is playing. The New York Giants going into Detroit to play the Lions. I think the Lions roll as well. They're a giant favorite to win this game, especially in Detroit. I say Detroit wins this game. I'm gonna say 35-20. I'm going to say the Lions win this game 35-20.
Yeah, it's the Giants. um, yeah, I feel like Detroit is gonna bounce back tremendously this game, especially them being at home. Giants don't look like they have anything going on right now. They still have a lot to figure out with if Dark's gonna even come back healthy enough for the rest of the season. And even I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that, is out there, but it's like it's just not gonna get it's not gonna be enough for them to get over any type of hump that they're looking forward to do. So yeah, I'm also gonna say they're gonna put over a 30 piece. So I'm gonna say maybe 33-19.
33-19. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Lions roll, especially being in Detroit. Next game, the Steelers are going into Chicago to play the Bears. This one, I was leaning maybe an upset might happening with the Steelers winning, but since the actually I don't know who's the underdog. I don't know. I can't forget. I can't remember who's the underdog in this one. I feel like the Bears might be underdogs, but we'll see. I'll look at the odds after this. But with Aaron Rodgers reportedly having a broken hand, with him having a broken bone in his hand, and reports that he is hurt right now, and I don't believe he's going to come out there and have a good game against his Bears team. Bears are playing in Chicago. It's going to be very cold in Chicago at this time of year, and if you have a broken bone in your hand, you know at your age, especially too, Aaron Rodgers is going to be hurting. So I am taking the Bears. I think the Bears win this game. I'm going to say a close game. I'm going to say 28-24. Bears pull it off. I'm going to say like a fourth quarter win for the Bears. So 28-24 Bears.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty close too. But I'm just gonna I'm not a firm believer of what Pittsburgh is doing. On the other hand, I'm really proud of what Chicago's got going on for themselves. But that code could be a bitch, excuse my language, but um I think they're gonna probably win this in pretty much a pretty close showdown. I'm gonna say they win 27-23.
27-23. Yeah, close game, but I do believe it. I think we both believe that we just trust the Bears to win the fourth quarter. If it's close in the fourth quarter, I think we both trust the Bears to win this game. Next game. Patriots going into Cincinnati. No Jamar Chase for the Bengals. Patriots going into Cincinnati to play this game. I'm taking New England Patriots. I think they're rolling right now, especially with no Jamar Chase. Joe Flacco's gonna be missing his number one weapon. I think the Patriots win this game. I'm gonna say Patriots. Patriots win this game 28-20 Patriots.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say the same score just because the Patriots look like they can do no wrong right now. Running the ball. Drake May's out there. Drake doing his own thing. And defense is low key playing very well is Cincinnati. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It seemed like the only glimpse of slight hope that they have is maybe having Jamar out there. And as we said earlier, is that's what caused him to be out for at least for this game. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say the same exact score just because I don't think that they can get anything going.
Yeah, especially with no Jamar out there, I do expect the Patriots to win this game, and I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to put enough points up, especially with because Jamar's not there, so it's going to be hard for them. Next game, the Cleveland Browns going into Las Vegas. Shador's first start of his career. This one, I am taking the Browns underdogs, 3.5 point favorite underdogs. I'm taking the Browns to win this game outright. I think Shador wins this game along. In my opinion, if if Shador just scores 20 points, they win this game because I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to score 20. I think the Raiders probably score about 13 or 12. I'm going to say the Browns win this game. I'm going to say Browns 24-13. Browns win this game. Shador has a good game, and the Raiders just struggle. And Gino throws another 2 picks and gets sacked like 4 times. So give me the Browns as an underdog going to Las Vegas. Like I said, 24-13 Browns.
Yeah. Um, I'm just rooting for Shador, and I know he can do it. Um, Damn, UCLA just got beat like they stole something. Um, Sorry. But yeah, I'm just gonna root for them. The Raiders, I can never really root for them a day in my life, especially how they're playing right now. Um, so I'm gonna just say I'm gonna say Cleveland wins by a touchdown, 21-14.
21-14. Okay. Next game, Jaguars going into Arizona. Guys, I am taking the Jaguars. The defense just looks good. And the one thing about Jaguars, they do really good some weeks, they do bad some weeks. But I think this is going to be a good game for them. I think Trevor Lawrence and Etienne are going to come out there and have a good game. I think the Jaguars win this game. I'm going to say a shootout, but I'm going to say Jaguars win 30-27 in Arizona. Jaguars win a close victory.
Yeah. For some odd reason, I was going back and forth. This is probably the hardest one for some odd reason for me to pick one because for some reason when Arizona plays at home, they like to make games a little bit interesting, but they end up blowing the shit out the game.
Hmm.
And deep down, it's like, I want to keep showing them love, and Kyler's not there, so I'm like, okay, it's Jacoby time. He can actually probably do something decent, at least for them to hold up and actually, for the defense to do something. But yeah, Jacksonville, they what they lost last week, but then I'm like, okay, they're not going to lose again this week, especially let alone against a team that's very much weaker than them. So I feel like it is also going to be a shootout as well, a little bit close, but I'm gonna say they win.
Jacksonville won last week. So they lost.
Sorry,
Yeah, they lost two
yeah,
weeks ago to the Texans 36-29, but then they blew out the Chargers last week 35-6.
yeah. I was thinking about the other game when they had lost, and
Yeah,
it was last week, but it was the week prior. They did blow out the Chargers, which was kind of surprising. I thought it was gonna be a
it
little bit
was
closer.
very surprising.
Um, but I'm gonna say they also win this slightly in a close shootout. I'm gonna say 30-28 Jacksonville.
30-28 Jacksonville. Yeah. I kind of that's a good score line too. But yeah, we both think it's gonna be close, but I think Jacksonville pulls it off in a close matchup. Now the Eagles in a divisional matchup going into Dallas, taking on the Cowboys. This one, I'm going to be going with the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Cowboys pull off the upset in this one. Honestly, I think the Cowboys win this game. I think the Cowboys are going to score too many points, and I think this is going to be the beginning of the Eagles' woes, where they're going to start thinking like, "Dang, is our offense like really as good?" There's going to be too much noise around Jalen Hurts, and I feel like he might try to force the ball to his receivers a little bit more. Um, Saquon has been having a good year. I just think the Dallas Cowboys going to score too many points. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. And one thing, Dak always plays good against the Eagles. For some reason, he always does good against the Eagles. So I'm taking the Cowboys as an upset. I think the Cowboys win this game. I'm going to say 33-20. I think Cowboys absolutely roll this game, to be honest. So give me the Cowboys 33-20.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually pick the upset this week as well. I'm gonna have to ride with the Oklahoma State Cowboys. I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, I have faith this week. I just feel like those trades that Jerry Jones recently made actually helps that defense out a lot. As we've seen, everybody's like, but it was just the Raiders last week. But I'm like, no, it's not just a fluke or it's just like some random game. Like they're clearly getting back to their A game, and rather for stopping the run or actually having some help back there with all the DBs and actually having a solidified linebacker out there now. Um, so yeah, I feel like they're actually gonna have Philly's number this week and kind of even out the series between them losing the first game of the season to them. So now they're playing in Dallas. So I feel like that's a bit of an advantage to them and how much Dak actually likes to genuinely look forward to these games and just show out,
Hmm.
regardless of how they do for the rest of the season. So, but I feel like they're gonna have Philly this game and they're probably gonna win this game. I'm gonna say also like 33-21, 33-20.
Yeah, I really feel like this is a good Cowboy spot. I like this spot a lot. So hopefully the Cowboys come out here and prove us right. Next game, guys. Falcons going into New Orleans to take on the Saints. This one honestly was a hard game to pick for me. It was a really hard game for pick for me because like the Saints are not good, but the Falcons are just the most untrustworthy. I don't know what they are type of team. So I'm gonna bite my tongue and go with the Falcons, even though I know an upset is possible in this one. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I'm gonna say low scoring. I think the Falcons win this game 21-17, a close matchup, but I think the Falcons pull it off just because that defense should be able to hold the Saints to a low scoring game. I think the Falcons win this game close 21-17 Falcons.
Yeah, I hope they both lose just because 'cause they're both in my division, but, um, yeah, I know, New Orleans ended up somehow winning last week, but I don't think they can do it back to back like that. Plus, I don't believe in Atlanta, especially now that Michael Penix is pretty much out, and now they're gonna have Kirk Cousins out there and show why he's been paid all that money. But I think they're barely gonna win as well. I don't think it's gonna be too high scoring. I'm gonna say like 21-17, 21-16.
Yeah, same exact thing. Now for the Sunday night football game, this is going to be the after the snap bowl. It's going to be the game where I personally I personally just wanted this game to be a lot better. I just wish both these two teams, mainly the Buccaneers. I wish the Buccaneers were healthy so we would have actually got a really good game. But now Buccaneers going into LA. I wish I can go to the game. I got to work tomorrow, but I wish I could have went to the game. But the Rams taking on the Buccaneers after the Snap Bowl. I think you both have the same exact prediction, to be honest, just because the Buccaneers are not that healthy right now. I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams come out here. I think they beat the Buccaneers at home. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be pretty at all. I think the Rams score about 30 to 35. I'm going to say the Rams win this game 35 to 21. I think Rams win this game by like 2 touchdowns, to be honest. Buccaneers are just not healthy. Like I said, I wish this game would have been a lot better matchup because I was expecting the better matchup, but I think with Sean McVay knowing Baker Mayfield really well and the Rams how good they've been playing recently, I think the Buccaneers are going to struggle. Like I said, 35 to 21. I'm taking the Rams. Jesus.
That's how I feel at this game. That's how I'm gonna probably watch the game. I'm just gonna be barely hanging on. Like, okay, I'm gonna act like I'm not watching, but I have to because it's my team. But I don't really expect much, and I said it since pretty much last week and the week prior. I was like, man, once we get circling this game going into LA, it just sucks. We're banged up. The confidence is pretty much left. I mean, the only one that's pretty much keeping us upholding is because we have Baker on our side, and God knows how long he can hold up as well. He's gonna have to pull a miracle and have like one of those games like how he did the first few weeks, when he let it come back. But ultimately, I just think it's just gonna be entirely too much. We're going against the top ranked defense, if not the best defense in the league right now. Um, Defensively, we can't stop anybody. We can't stop a nosebleed. So honestly, I didn't even come up with a score. I just knew that we're probably going to get beat by a few scores, if not a couple scores, if that, to say the latest. But yeah, I just know that the Rams are just flat out going to win.
Yeah. Like I said, I wish this game would have been a lot closer. Just, I wish these teams would have been healthy. I really wish it because it would have been a great, great game going into this week. But just the Buccaneers are just too banged up right now. Now for the last game of the whole entire week, Monday Night Football, Panthers going into San Francisco, taking on the 49ers. This one, I am taking the upset as well. I'm taking the Panthers. I think the Panthers beat the 49ers in San Francisco. This is a little hard of a pick. I think I'm picking against the 49ers because I just don't like the 49ers. But I think Bryce Young's gonna have a good game. And at worst, I think the Panthers cover the spread. I think this game is gonna be close. Personally, I think this is gonna be like a 24-27. I think it can go either way. It could be 24-27 49ers, it could be 24-27 Panthers. I think it's gonna come down to who has the ball last. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I'm just gonna lean towards the Panthers. I'm taking the Panthers to win this game on the road, pull off the upset. And man, if the Panthers do pull this upset off, the Panthers have caught up to the Buccaneers. But we both said it. We both in the beginning of the year we both thought the Panthers would have a better season because Bryce Young is actually showing some life. But for the Buccaneers' sake, I hope that the 49ers actually I don't know because this is both for our divisions. We both want these teams to lose. Like I want the Niners to lose and you want the Panthers to lose. But I'm taking the Panthers, but it could go either way. This is a 50-50 game for me. But give me the Panthers 27-24.
Yeah, as much as I don't want them to keep up with this race in this sorry ass division, um, I just never liked the 49ers. I always say there's only one Bay, and that's Tampa Bay. I don't care what anybody says. So Um, I'm also taking the upset, and I might get hated for it, but whatever, like I just feel like Carolina, even if they are playing over at Levi Stadium and them being a slight underdog, I'm gonna have to roll with the underdogs. Just like that's just what I usually do. So I really shouldn't root for them because it's like, why? Like you guys are rival, but
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it's just kind of winging it and just hope for the best. So I'm gonna have them winning as well against the 40 whiners and say that they win 28-20.
Look at that, guys. Me and Hez are on the same exact games this whole entire week. Every time me and Hez have the same exact predictions, it goes very well. Every time. If there's always like 14 games, every single time me and him are the same predictions, we get like 11 of the 14 right every single time. Like, so hopefully it goes back. It's either going to be a good week or a bad week. But recently it's been a good week. Every time we agree, it kind of goes the way we thought. Upsets. We have like 3 or 4 upsets. We have favorites winning these games. So, Hez, real quick, just to ask you one quick question: out of all these games, which one would you say is your most confident pick for someone to win this week?
I'm gonna say the Ravens for sure,
Raiders.
just to be on the safe side. If it's not them, I want to say the Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think my most confident pick is going to be the Ravens, and if I had to pick another one, I would say the Rams. I just think the bulk Buccaneers are just too beat up, but the Jets just are horrible, and the Ravens
Yeah,
should win this
yeah.
game at home. So, I think the Ravens. I agree with you. Most confident pick to win this week is probably the Ravens. I think the Ravens should be in everybody's parlay piece. All right, guys, that is it. After the snap, episode 19. Went through this whole entire episode. Before I get out of here, I'm gonna let Hez talk a little bit, see if Hez has any topics. But I'm gonna give you guys, if you guys are watching this repost, you guys get a free lock of the day play for tomorrow. So hopefully you catch it out. I'll give you guys 2 right now because if you're here for an hour and a half watching this repost, fuck with you. So you're gonna get 2 free lock of the day plays. First one is gonna be Shaduer Sanders to have at least 1 passing touchdown. That's a -140. I think that's a steal. At worst, Shadur would throw at least 1 touchdown. So Shadur Sanders 1 touchdown to at least throw one. It's a -140. You're getting a great line on that one. Other one is going to be a same game parlay. We're taking the not Buccaneers. We're taking the Browns plus 6.5 to not lose by 7. I think they win outright, but if they do lose this game, it's going to be close. I'm taking the plus 6.5. They don't lose by more than a touchdown if they lose, and with same game parlaying that. Plus 6.5 on the Browns with a Miles Garrett have a sack. That's plus money. That is going to be a plus 140. Miles Garrett might get 2 tomorrow. And I think the Browns went outright. So that's 2 lock of the day plays for you guys. Shador Sanders for 1 passing touchdown. The other one's gonna be same game parlay plus 6.5 on the Browns with Miles Garrett to have an anytime just one at least 1 sack in the game. All right, Hez. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, except for Carolina fans, don't think that I'm rooting for y'all ever again.
you got you got aggressive and your camera turned off. You said, "Don't think we're going."
Yeah,
Oh man, the only reason why
shit.
you're going for Carolina this week is because they're playing the 49ers. I feel like you hate the 49ers, probably the top 2 teams you hate the most in the NFL. It's the Eagles and the 49ers, the 2 teams. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys, after this snap, episode 19 is done. We'll be back for the great opening of episode 20. We made it 20 episodes going to next week. We'll try to get on here next Wednesday. I'll talk about it again. We'll see how our schedules worked out. Hopefully, none of us catch the flu again because Hez got sick one week. I got sick the next week. So let's stay healthy. Let's keep doing these shows. And guys, I'm out of here. I'm the Wager Zone. This is Hezzy Hybrid. Say bye to the people, Hez. Tell them to drink some water.
As always, stay hydrated. You got to stay healthy, man. Stay safe, stay positive, stay dry from this rain, and just stay away from all the fuck shit that's not helping you. That's staying positive, man. So overall, keep doing what your guys is doing. I'm a believer is that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to, and even though we're gonna lose it, fuck it, go Bucks.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't. But man, I don't even want to say it. I just think that I don't want to jinx it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right, guys. This after the snap, I believe the Rams win, but I'm not gonna say the two words because I do not want to jinx it. Episode 19. We'll be back for episode 20. Like I said, stay positive, stay hydrated, keep positive thoughts, and one thing we're gonna say before we get out of here: do not spit on anybody. Please, no more spitting. And all right, guys, I'm out of here from the Wager Zone. That's Hez. We're out of here. Episode 20. Be back next week. I'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir. Peace.